and A to Z of Torm, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome. I'm Mark Griffin from Griffin Historical. You can call me Griff, and I'm here to do a little rundown of lots of the traders. Not all. I can't cover them all in 20-30 minutes, but I'm going to give you a little rundown. So if you want to do some shopping this weekend, please put your hand in your pocket and buy whatever you can. A little knick-knack, a big knick-knack. It's been a rubbish year last year, and all of the traders at Torm, whether they're makers of things or organisers of events, wouldn't mind your patronage. Thank you very much. So let's kick off. First of all, a little bit of history. I started off with a one costume and a sword in a wardrobe. That went to a bigger wardrobe, then the spare room, then a shed, then more sheds, then some stables, and then a small light industrial unit and a cargo container. We now take up in here alone 40,000 square foot of an old World War II ammunition factory. We told the Germans it was bikes, but it was rifle bullets. And we also have more cargo containers, other storage facilities, a barn full of costumes. The costumes are all at the barn, so I can't show you any costumes from these traders. Ditto footwear, no shoes and boots. Here is mostly props, hats, wigs. Over there, about 45 tents. Underneath me is where I keep all the armour. There's hundreds of sets of bits of armour. Over in the corner over there, you can't see, racks and racks of pewter of all ages, glassware from the Romans upwards, pottery from Neolithic times all the way through the Iron Age, medieval, Georgian, Victorian, racks and racks of that sort of stuff. What else? Oh, behind you, in the wall behind there, are all the large props, carts, four-poster beds, forges, an entire craft market should you wish. So anyway, let's crack on with this. A to Z, I've got to start off with Anne Laverick's stall. Anne, of course, does fantastic off-the-peg costumes, but is responsible for Torm. So thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to do this. Next, Alison Hugh's handmade things. I know Alison Hugh pretty well. So Alison made this basket, for example. Hugh makes wonderful carpentry stuff. They're also very good demonstrators. If you've got a museum or you need anything like that, then they can come along and show you what they're doing. So very, very talented, could turn their hands to anything. Anna period shoes. Well, I've got 3 or 4 pairs of Anna shoes, and they work very, very well. Andy Kirkham, wonderful ironworker, wonderful blacksmith. Here is a copy of a bill hook that he made. Oh, and Lord Nithsdale's beheading axe. And there's a bill hook there as well. There we go. He'll turn his hand to anything that's made of metal and bits of wood as well. He even makes World War II stuff. So fantastic. Andy Burke, another wonderful cordwainer. I use his Victorian workman's boots in the garden, and they are very incredibly comfortable and hard wearing. Armour class. Swords. If you want swords that are hard wearing and does what it says on the tin, I must have about 30 armour class swords in store, and they are always reliable. They'll do bespoke ones, or you can just go to their stall and just buy off the shelf. So there we go, very good, nice chaps. Who else? Joe Badger, Historic Costumes, got some of her stuff, always very, very good, high quality. The Stagger Inn, bespoke reenactment bars. They will do you a fantastic bar for your event or for your wedding or your function, anything like that. Kappa Pi, Mark Hale and his wonderful mail. Let's some of that somewhere. Oh well, it's gone. But he also does 3D printed stuff as well. So look on his website if you need practice weapons, if you need coronels for jousting. We go through a lot of those in the jousting community. What else are we doing? Cloaked and daggered, more costumes. Fantastic costumes, in fact. I'm looking around to see if I've got anything. There's a hat I noticed earlier on, but no, that's gone. Oh, there's some of Mark's mail there. Look, there we go. Should go into the armour store, that should. Cloth haul. I go through a lot of cloth. I buy cloth from Lindy sometimes. But there's obviously at Torm, we've got to make things out of raw materials, so you get lots of raw materials there as well. Cobwebs, great costumes. You've got some of your cloaks, they're very good. A company of artisans who are a collective of really, really skilled craftsmen. They do restoration work on original buildings. They will make you fantastic bespoke stuff like stonework, tiling, all sorts of things. So they're good. Crafty Beggars, a couple of their hats I found earlier on. So whether you're wanting a nice sort of Civil War Elizabethan felt hat there, or a nice hat for the summer. They do loads of other stuff, lots and lots of great handicraft. Getting to the end of the first page, Crossman Crafts, Pete. Again, another incredibly talented craftsperson. Got the other side to do. Beads, combs, anything to do with wood. He makes lovely stuff from the Mary Rose. He'll make you a compass, he'll make you map dividers, he'll make you all sorts of things. Dave Budd, ironwork. I've got lots of Dave's tools. If you're a carpenter or you're doing a display in a museum about tools from bygone eras, then Dave's your man. He does very, very good ironwork. Derbyshire Arms. It's one of theirs, there we are. So if you're live firing guns, black powder guns, muzzle loaders, you'll do everything from, oh, I found this earlier on. Did a display for the Tower of London, and he made me a lovely copy of the first ever handgun, the Tannenberg gun, there we are. So, yeah, muskets, pistols, the whole lot, Derbyshire Arms. Dressed to Kill, I've known Mark for a very long time, fantastic armour. Incredibly robust stuff. You can beat the heck with somebody wearing his armour and they won't suffer. One of his, I think, yeah, it's one of his. Nice barbecue there. So Mark, and they also do displays of knights fighting as well. Really exciting stuff. There we are. Who else have we got? Eagle Archery. I've got lots of their things in a bag somewhere. I use them for bracers and spare archery equipment, and they're very, very good. Elgar shirts. Really nice quality shirts, do a lot of later periods, so Georgian onwards, but really nice quality undergarments for gentlemen, there we are. Event plan, it's not just things that are made at Torm, you can organise your events there, I do that, but Event Plan does as well, Ellie and Matt there. Event Plan, of course, was started by Mr. Howard Giles, and if you're looking at 40,000 square foot of stuff, and all the associated costs that go with it, it's all your fault, Howard, so thank you very much. Howard and Barbara, old friends, love them dearly. What else are we going to do? Go on the page. Right, okay, farthingales, historic hats, par excellence, do very, very good stuff like that. Foxblade. Now, Foxblade, Mr. Todd Booth. Todd will make you shoes, he'll do all sorts of things. Anything in leather, very, very handy chap. He will, I've got shoes back at my other unit, but somewhere around I noticed, yeah, it's gone. Not to worry. Oh, there it is, right in front of the camera. Here we are. I asked Todd to make me some belts, and I gave him the measurement, and he said, "Who the heck's got a 58-inch waist?" And I said, "Father Christmas does," because I do lots of Father Christmas work. So, well, I've got 5 or 6 of those belts. There we go. What else do we do? More shoes. Gary Soame, Civil War shoes. Lots of those. Does a lot for Equus and the Sealed Knot. Who we are? Hart's Fabrics. Ali, one of the mainstays of Torm. That's some of his cloth there that I think was used on a TV thing, maybe Wolf Hall or something. He'll do all sorts of cloth, all sorts of periods, all sorts of qualities. There we go. Historic enterprises who come very often from all the way from, well, they come from California, come from America. This is some of their fine tableware here, so lovely Perugia linen tablecloth. But Gwen does wonderful clothing. Their off-the-peg army doublets are fantastic if you're starting out and you're jousting or you're a knight. But Jeff also makes everything to do with jousting, including armour. Underneath here there's lots of armour. That's some of Jeff's that I brought up. So very good, high quality armour, knows his stuff, beautiful work. History in the making, Simon does lovely work. That's just a simple box. But a trick I've got is I bought one of his small carts, in fact I've got 2, and I can trundle my stuff backwards and forwards to the car in the car park and be off site before anybody else is. So buy a cart, it's really useful. Who else have we got here? Kitty hats, Kitty McLaren, beautiful hats. I've got some of her shakos and things here, but whether you want to do Jane Eyre or Richard III, she'll do you lovely hats. Lionheart, Colin, Lionheart replicas, lovely pewterware, I think that's possibly one of his, pilgrim badges, buckles, buttons, all sorts of things, everything to do with pewter, candlesticks, salt cellars, little plates, incredibly knowledgeable, knows so much about the use of pewter, especially the medieval era. There we are, yeah. Halfway through. Lucy the Tudor. Lucy will make you lots and lots of lovely small things. I think somewhere there's some of her aiglets, some of her points. There we are. She'll make you woven things. She'll do pretty much anything, and she demonstrates as well. So she can come to your event and show you the world of the medieval or Tudor era. Lion Leathers, Keith Lyon. Wonderful gentleman, incredibly knowledgeable not only about the leather itself but about the leather industry. He can always find what you want. I think that's going on for some binding or something. But yeah, it's always lovely to chat with Keith. He's been in the business for a very long time, and again another mainstay of Torm. So sorry I won't be seeing him this weekend. Where are we? Mattles Tents come all the way from Eastern Europe. The world of tents has improved dramatically over the last 10 years, so it's good to see them around. I've got 2 or 3 of their pavilions down there somewhere. Merchant Venturers, Clive. Clive will do you lovely glassware. He will do you, I think actually that's one of his hourglasses. Got all sorts of stuff from Clive. He'll do you Venetian masks, he'll do you lanterns, he'll do you all sorts of things. So there we go. Mulberry Dyer, Debbie and John. If you want really, really well-researched, knowledgeable yarn, dye information, all that sort of stuff, they will make everything in that area. So Mulberry Dyer, well worth a talk to if you're into your cloth and stuff. NP Historical Stews, again, Eastern Europe. Don't have any shoes here, but I do have a couple of pairs of their stuff. I've got about 300 pairs of shoes at home, so I do have a lot of them, but and certainly I have some from NP, so that's great. Paul Meakin's books. Books are knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I've got thousands. I've got thousands and thousands of books. A lot come from Paul, but Paul does other stuff as well. He does leather work, he does woodwork, he does all sorts of things. Again, another one of those Torm mainstays that it's always a pleasure to talk to. Period glasses. These are modern glasses, but somewhere over there's a box of period glasses. I'm always being asked to kit out actors with period glasses, so they're very, very good. Got some of those. Phil Fraser, another mainstay. Phil and Sal, always a pleasure to meet them. Been around in the business of the heritage world, reenactment world, for a very long time. It's one of Phil's hats there. There we go. But Phil does metalwork. He's belts, pouches, buckles, knives. He'll make you archery equipment. He started off doing archery. That's how he got into this. But he'll do all sorts of things. And again, somebody else I always love talking to. And it's a shame I won't see them this weekend. But hopefully, as the year improves, that will change. Plexus Armor. Kevin Legg, a very talented armourer, knows his metal, can do you any armour at all, and always to a very high standard. Look at this, we're cracking through these. There we go. Okay, prior attire, Isabella and Lucas. Isabella does fantastic tailoring. You may well have seen her new book on Victorian patterns. She's just starting volume 2, but she's made me waistcoats, she's made me Malburian costumes, medieval costumes, Victorian stuff, all sorts of things. Quiverstock, another archery and general supplier. So I've got some of their crossbows, I've got archery equipment, they do stuff for tents as well, so all sorts of things. Red Dog Forge, Andy. So Andy has made me bespoke braziers. He'll do anything. There's a lovely line in fireboxes. They're very good. That's a little kilpie he made for picking up cauldrons off of fires. But I have a cargo container across the yard, and that's absolutely stacked full of metalwork and all sorts of things. So there's lots of his kit in there. Sally Green, historical costumes, very good. Does off the peg stuff, does stuff that you can commission from her. So I've got some of her things. Sally and Gareth. So Sally Pointer, Gareth Riseborough. Sadly won't be seeing them this weekend. Good friends. I employ them as demonstrators and craftspeople, but they also make things. So Gareth made me a stone. Well, this is actually a grindstone for a saddle quern that Gareth sorted out for me, and Sally makes all sorts of other stuff as well. Oh, Gareth made these as well. There we are. I very quickly was doing a Tudor food programme, didn't have any moulds to hand, so he very quickly, like in 2 or 3 days, carved me up some March pane moulds, so leaves, acorns and a Tudor rose there. So incredibly talented, turns his hands to anything, as does Sally. If you want to know about makeup, if you want to know about all sorts of things, Sally is your person, and anything pre-history as well. St George Armoury, Mark Vickers, and again, somebody's been doing armour for a very long time, very talented, also makes fabulous cutlery. So if you wanted very good, bespoke, and also sharp or blunt, depending on your needs. Mark will do a fantastic job. I have his knives, I have his armour, I have harnesses by him, and all sorts of bits and bobs. Oh, and also, Mark made me some smaller armour. I'm a great believer in sticking children in armour, but I don't like putting adult armour on them because they don't learn anything. It's heavy and doesn't fit, which is not the case with armour. So Mark made me arms, breastplate and helmet for smaller children. I've got a couple of sets of those, very, very useful. Right, Steve Wagstaff, the man for the Romans world. If you need your cooking pots, if you need to dispel demons from your temple, Steve can do all sorts of things. Armour, anything to do with the Roman world in metal, wood and leather, Steve will know how to do it. So there we are, the Historic Games shop. At least one instance, I think, in Wolf Hall where this turns up with some lovely pieces as well. So games, cards, Viking games, chess sets, backgammon, whatever you want from the Historic Games shop. We have the Semster. We have Christine, who is an excellent seamstress. She just made me my new bespoke lovely arming doublet, and makes all sorts of things very high quality, very, very good. Have a look at her stuff. Tillerman's beads, of course, for all your adornments. They make lovely glass beads, and well worth having them. Todd's workshop, well, Todd, what can you say? Beautiful things made with a real eye. Here we are, I don't know if you can see that, there we are. Lovely little eating knife there with a nicely tooled case, but of course Todd is known for his big things as well, so I've got 4 or 5 of Todd's crossbows. Yeah, Todd will make anything. Maces, knives, swords, but he's a historian, an engineer, knows what he's talking about, will make lovely stuff. Traders, Raiders and Invaders do very good school talks, but they also will sell you things for the Viking world, early medieval period. Russ will do you all sorts of things. He's the man with the boat that you see at some events, so he's always knowledgeable, good to talk to. Traditional materials, I saw some of their stuff earlier on because I was mixing up some glue. So they'll do traditional materials, sinews, glues, pigments, all sorts of stuff, resins, weird stuff to make all your historical things. Here we are, Trinity Court Potteries. Jim and Ali, who I've known for a very, very long time. So we have Roman pots, we'll do your materia, we'll do your amphora. I have, just pull this off the shelf. Over there I've got shelves and shelves and shelves of pottery. A lot of it is Jim's. There are obviously other potters coming at Torm's as well, so you don't have to just go with him. So we have late 15th and 16th century stuff. We have a medieval aquamanile here. He does puzzle jugs. He'll do you commissions. He'll make you stuff specifically for you with your family coat of arms on, or your initials, or he'll tiles for your kitchen. He'll do anything at all as long as it's burnt mud, basically. And I've got some coffee in on his lovely 16th century mugs there, so I think some Surrey chinware there. Who else have we got? Trouvert. Now, they don't make anything other than sweet music. So you'll see them at their store, you'll be able to buy their CDs, but you'll be able to hire them for your weddings, events, demonstrations, school talks. They're fantastic musicians. I have the pleasure of jousting sometimes when they are playing, so always nice to see them. Lovely people, always nice to hear them. Vic James, in fact, Vic makes these tables here, very nice lightweight tables, but also he's made loads of my canvas shelters, he's made tents that I've got down there, he's supplied me, he makes all of my Victorian side stools for my Victorian fair, he's made loads and loads of stuff. There we are, one of his tent finials. I'm sure that should be with other tent finials. Where are we? So many. Sorry, I'm missing out loads of people. I'm missing out your names as well. But I've only got 20 minutes or so. White Rabbit linens, beautiful, beautiful linen work, fantastic seamstress. Did me some lovely Mulburian cravats. There we are. It's weird, my life. I go from this to a Mulburian lace cravat. And the last person on the list, Jason Wayland Forge. Again, I can't see anything here, but over in my snort, I know I've got pot hangers, I know I've got tripods, I know I've got all sorts of shield bosses, spear tips, all that sort of stuff. So there we are. I've got to the end. an A to Z of Torm. Listen, it's been, as we know, it's been a rubbish year last year. Let's hope it gets better this year. If you're coming to Torm virtual because you're a reenactor, whether you're a teacher who wants learning resources, whether you are TV and film production, well, hello, come and see me. If you are doing an event, if you're a museum, whatever, if you're town council, then there's a whole list on the website of everybody that's there. I've given you a little rundown of what's available. Sally makes hats as well. There we are, part of Sally's hats. She also makes a Welsh wig as well, which is a very poor man's wig. I must get another one. So please support our traders, our crafts people, our event organisers, and hopefully we'll see you all in the summer when things pick up a little bit. So thank you again to Anne and her team for inviting me, and I'm now going to run towards the camera and turn you off. Goodbye.